Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Sabrina and I'm back with another Excel tutorial. Now in this video, I'm going to be showing you how you can combine text in Excel using two different formulas. The first formula, I'm going to be using the ampersand symbol. And in the second formula, we'll be using the concatenate function. So if you look at my spreadsheet here, you can see I've got a table of sales data where in column B, you've got the first name of all sales agents. And then in column C, we have the last name. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to combine the first name and the last name of all sales agents into column D. Okay, so this is where we would have their full name displayed. Now, I could use two formulas to do that. Now, the first one that I'm going to show you is the ampersand formula. So what you would do here is you would select the first cell where you want to combine the text in. You would type equal, and then you would select the first cell of the data that you want to combine. So that will be this cell here, which is the first name. And what that will do is when you select the cell, it will add the cell reference number in the formula cell. Okay. You would then type the ampersand key, like so. And then you want to add a quotation mark, enter a space, and then close it with another quotation mark. Now, the reason for this is basically to add a space in between the text that you're trying to combine. So these quotation marks with the space in between will basically put a space in between the first name and the last name. Okay, so this is why these quotation marks is very important. You would then add another ampersand symbol, and then you would select the last cell, which is the data that you want to combine it with. So in this case, it's the last name. So I'm just going to select that cell. This would input the cell reference number, and then you would press enter on your keyboard. And there you go. So you can see that formula has combined the first name and the last name for me. Now what I can do is I can copy and drag this formula down into other cells. So what you can do in this instance is go to the fill handle, which is basically a small green square in the bottom right-hand corner of the selected cell. So when you hover your mouse over the fill handle, you will see a black cross. And when you see the black cross, you can simply double click into that black cross, and that will fill the rest of your cells with the same formula. And you can see here, it's combined the rest of the text for me. Okay, so that was the first formula using the ampersand symbol. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to undo what I've done there, and I'm going to talk you through the second formula, which is the concatenate function. So to use the concatenate function, you would again type equal, and then you would type concat. So when you type concat, it will basically come up with some suggestions at the bottom, and you'll see a suggestion called concatenate, which is a function. Okay, and that's the function that you want to use. So if you just double click into that function. Now, before I double click, you'll see on the right-hand side a preview of the description. So it tells you there that the concatenate function is basically a list or range of text strings. Okay, so if I double click into the concatenate, I can now see the details of the formula. So I can see here what I'm supposed to enter in. Okay, so it tells me there that you want to enter the first text, which is text 1, and then text 2, and so on. Okay, so however many text items you want to combine, you basically need to add them in between the open and closed brackets. Okay, so text 1 is of course our first name. So I'm just going to select this cell. I then need to add a comma, and then it's asking me to select the second text, which is this one here. Okay, that's the last name, so I'm just going to select the last name. Okay, and I can keep going, so it will keep giving me options of further text. So if you had a third text that you wanted to combine, you can just put a comma in and then select the third cell and so on. So once you've selected all of the text that you want to combine, you would then type closed bracket. So that's going to close your formula, and then you press the Enter key on your keyboard. Okay, now one very important point is, can you see how it's basically combined the first name and the last name, but it's not put a space in between it? Now, to insert a space in between the first name and the last name, you just need to go back to the formula. Okay, now I can see the formula in the formula bar at the top, and you basically need to put a space in between the cell references. So what you need to do there is, I'll just go back into this cell so that you can see it better. Okay, so after B3, so that's the first name, we would enter the comma, and then if you remember from our first example, a space is basically represented by two quotation marks with a space in between them. So I'm just going to do exactly the same here. So I'm going to put a quotation mark, enter a space, and then put another quotation mark, and then I'm going to put a comma. Okay, so according to this formula, B3, which is my first name, is text 1. The quotation marks with the space in between is classed as text 2, so it's going to combine that as well. So it's going to put a space in between. And my last name, which is my C3 reference number, is classed as text 3. Okay, so now if I press enter on my keyboard, you can see that it's now put a space in between the first name and the last name, which is what I wanted. So, if you wanted to put space or, maybe any other characters like a dot or something like that, or maybe a hyphen, you do need to specify that in the formula as well. Now, again, I'm just going to copy and drag this formula down. So I'm just going to go to the fill handle in the bottom right-hand corner of the selected cell. Okay, hover your mouse over the fill handle until you see the black cross, and then just double click into that black cross, and that will copy and drag the formula into the rest of the cells. Okay, and it will combine the text for you. Okay, so that's it. So basically what we looked at there was combining text using the ampersand symbol in a formula or using the concatenate function. You can use both and it will do exactly the same thing. Okay, so I hope that's helped. If this video has been useful, please do like and share the video so that it can reach out to more people, and do consider subscribing so that you don't miss out on any new videos. All right, guys, as always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you. Bye-bye.